Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another review, and today I'm going to be taking another step back in time to look at a kit that came out a little while ago, about 5 years ago I think. And this, of course, is the Reborn-One Gundam GP04G Gerbera. And in case you're asking the question that I asked myself about this, and that was, what is this actually from? And the answer is, well, nothing, really. In Gundam 0080 Stardust Memory, this was basically a scrapped Gundam design. They did use the frame that was going to become this Gundam right here to make the Gerbera Tetra, but besides that, it never really made an appearance besides in one game as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, that is it. But anyway, as always, if you do want a Reborn-One Gerbera of your own, there is a link down there in the description, and you can get yours at Hobby Link Japan. Now here we go. And this right here is what we get out of the box, and honestly, I'm gonna say it right off the bat. You probably already know it by now, but I'm not a big fan of the Reborn-One kits. To me, I feel like they're just 1/100 high grades, and usually not with the quality of modern high grades. A lot of the Reborn-One I've taken a look at lately haven't been all that good. They've either been extremely basic and alright, or just not good at all. For example, the Hama just doesn't hold together. To me, I consider these as project bases only, or something to stick in the background behind your master grades as a bit of a display, but besides that, I don't feel they're really worth it, especially when they're already up at master grade prices. So is this the one that's going to change my mind? The answer is, well, it kinda did. So just in order to mix up the way these reviews are, I'm going to talk about the 5 awesome things I love about this kit, and 5 not so awesome things I hate about it. So as for those 5 awesome things that I love, number 1 has to be the looks. This thing looks crazy good, and I mean really good. This is actually doing what Reborn-One was meant to do. For the most part, it actually looks like a master grade. For example, there it is thrown down side by side with the master grade Alex version 2.0. Both of these are a very similar color scheme, so that's why I put them beside each other, and honestly, from a distance and even in relatively close, you would never be able to tell that these are not the same grade. So far so good. The second awesome aspect about this kit is the plastic quality. This is so nice to work with. It's buttery soft everywhere. No matter the color, whether it's the blue, white, red, or the gray of the joints, this is so easy to clean up. It leaves next to no nub marks. The third awesome aspect is, for the most part, this is undergated. This is a feature usually only found in the best of the best gunpla, so to find it in a Reborn-One is actually a bit on the shocking side to me. I mean, there isn't even a page in this manual that doesn't have undergated written somewhere on it. Undergated, 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 undergated. Even parts of the weapons are undergated. This is excessive maybe, but it is awesome. The fourth awesome aspect, and one of my favorite things to be on a kit, is this right here. Look at that. Those bits in its mouthpiece are actual holes through to the next layer of plastic. No pan lining for this. This looks incredible. Actually, that whole head looks incredible. And the fifth and final aspect that's awesome about this, and the one that shocks me the most, is how solid. Look at the wiggle test. Look at that wiggle test. We're losing a bit at the waist because of all this jazz on the back, but look at that. Look at that. I mean, if we pop all of this stuff back here off and give him that wiggle, yeah, he's going nowhere. For a Reborn-One kit, this is solid as a rock. But before you start hailing this as a king among 1/100 kits, there are 5 bad aspects I don't like about it at all. When it comes to the color accuracy, it's not great. Look at all those stickers, and the biggest offenders are the stern boosters around in the back. Without any stickers or pan lining, these are just 2 massive planks of plastic. That's all they are. They feel hollow, they look bad, they're not great. Even once you stick the stickers on, which is a total of 12 stickers among the 3 of them, it still doesn't necessarily look all that great. That would be a lot nicer if there were gray parts showing through. Same goes for those reflecty green stickers. These go everywhere. I left these ones here off the legs because I couldn't be bothered. We got this one here for his Chin Chin Bimu, and yeah, that would look better if it was a clear part, as in a clear green on a metallic foil would look much better. They're back here on these pieces too, like you can see right here, so lining them up is a bit of a hassle. For a kit that features super premium features like undergating, it has some really non-super premium features. Under all these skirting armors, all we have is this, just white with hollow parts. Flip these up, it's just white, and they really don't look pretty at all. That's very, very basic right there. And finally, on turning him around, look at this, that big hollow section inside the back of the neck there. That is not cool, cover that up. To the weapons for another non-awesome aspect, and that is this weapon here. It just is basic. It's two pieces of grey plastic sandwiched together, nothing moves. The barrel is a separate part, but all in all, this thing is ugly. So simple, so basic, why would you bother when you've got something as awesome rad as this thing right here? This kit has spare E-caps that can be held on the back of the shield like this, which is pretty awesome, right? Not really. The way these fit on, they don't stay in place. They just wiggle around like this, so if you get them lined up perfectly the way you want, all it takes is one little buh, and they're sideways. That's just crappy design right there. And the last one, I guess this would go for all Reborn 100s maybe? There is no toe bend. No toe bend down, no toe bend up. These are just block feet right here. Even high grades usually don't have feet this basic and blocky. Not cool, get your arms down, you're not that great. But honestly here, the pros outweigh the cons completely, and this is one beautiful looking 1/100 kit. For a Reborn 100, I'm blown away. They should make more Gundams like this. So finally, as for the aesthetics on this thing, I'm giving it a bit of a spin so you can drink in all of that awesome detail, and this thing looks absolutely fantastic. It definitely needs to be panel lined because all that surface detailing is lost if it's not panel lined, but all in all, this thing's proportions are off the charts awesome. Those big shoulders, big arms, big legs, it just looks buff as hell, and with that small detailed head, it just brings it all together in such an awesome way. I mean, I'm gonna throw up a couple of master grades from Stardust Memory on the right there. That will be the GP01 and the GP03. And as you can see, they really don't look as awesome as this. They definitely have a more old school kind of look, and I really dig what they've done with the design of this one. They've made that head small like I've mentioned already, and the body big and strong looking. And all in all, I've wanted to try those other Stardust Memory kits quite a bit for a while, but I've always been put off by how old they are. They definitely need a 2.0 of some description, and I like this kit so much, I probably wouldn't mind if there were Reborn 100s that look this nice. And finally, as for a size comparison, there it is beside the standard size Gundam, which is the Granddaddy 3.0. So I will mention, the size of this guy's head kind of gives it a, I guess, false sense of size. It looks to be bigger than it is when it's just like in a photo or something like that, but when it's beside your normal Granddaddy, it's not that big. So now moving on into the accessories, and there's actually more in this box than I expected. There's quite a lot going on in here, so I guess the price isn't seeming all that crazy now. So in here we get that shield, the 3 big old Sturm boosters, the long-range rifle, custom beam rifle, 2 beam sabers, the Jute effect parts for using with the long beam rifle, a pair of alternate hands, these are holding hands, the other pair are the fists that have been on it the whole time, and lastly, 3 spare E-caps. So first off, we're going to check out that long-range rifle. For this, you need these hands here with the little hole in the palm. These are just like a pair of high-grade hands. You just pop that in like so, and then just attach on the fingers like that. So the first thing I notice here is that the hand does have a little bit of an issue with holding that up. So that is a little bit of a problem that may get worse over time, but you could tighten that up. Also, I'd love to think that that motorcycle brake up there, when he pulls on that, it just stops him in mid-air, but I assume it's for actually using this right here, because there's nothing really else it could function with. I have no idea. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. For a Reborn 100 weapon, this is quite nice. It's big, bulky, and has a few colors. So that's gray, the yellow in there in that classic Gundam way for that sight section, and white back here. The E-cap there is removable. That is why we have spares. And as for moving parts, we've got this handle down here that can swing back and forth. That is quite loose. The other handle up here, which can swing like so. That's the one with that motorcycle brake. However, those little pegs sticking out of it don't look that awesome, do they? I know they're for attaching into the other hands, but those would be supplementary grips, so I don't really see the need for those. I might chop those off. And lastly then, with this, we've got that Jute. Try and stick that in. That looks like that, and has just added more weight to it, so it does sag a little bit more. Yeah, that's sagging quite a bit more. Get out of there! Get out! Get away! Next up then, we've got the custom beam rifle, and I've mentioned this already. This is very basic. Big seam up the middle there, and it's just 2 pieces of grey plastic sandwiched together with that barrel part attached. It's also got a green foil seal in there, and all in all, this is quite disappointing. Next up then, we've got a standard pair of beam sabers. These did come a little bit bendy in the box, but they'd pretty much be what you're accustomed to at this point. They do have tabs once again in the handles. They attach into the exact same holding hands we used with the weapons, or should I say long-range weapons. Just attach in like that with the tab, and then on with the fingers. So all in all, looking pretty much like you'd expect. When not in use, they can be stored up here on the backpack. These feel a little bit on the loose side the way they attach, but the tab sections do connect into these little holes here, so those tabs are hidden when they're attached up here on the shoulders. Next up then, we've got a shield in matching white, blue, and gray to the mobile suit. We've got some pretty cool, awesome stickers here, and speaking of which, I forgot about these. We get a regular size sheet of sticker style decals in here. For the most part, they're the normal text style ones. We got a couple of bigger ones here, and as for the nicer ones, I did affix up here onto the shoulders. These are pretty cool and in the same gray as a gray Gundam panel lining marker, so it matches quite well with those panel lines. Pretty awesome. So those right there are the stickers on the shield. These are nice, and they don't have that big of a surrounding section around them, so that does look quite invisible to a degree. Around the back, we've got this fairly standard, easy to attach adapter segment. This can attach in two different ways. This way, which will attach into the back of the arm here so that it's towards the side, and if you flip it like this, it's so it can attach into the complete rear of the arm. Essentially, it can attach onto the arm like this to the rear or like this to the side. Because of this style of variable nature, that does mean you've always got at least one peg sticking out somewhere not so awesomely. And also, not so awesomely, like I mentioned earlier on, you can attach these E-caps down here, but they kind of attach on in a very funny, wiggly way. Next up in here, we've got those 3 stern boosters. These attach on pretty simply. They just attach into the slots like this, and there's the last one in underneath. And of course, with these attached, this is too back heavy to stand up, but we do get this pretty awesome little landing gear type thing. So basically, on popping this section off, you can attach this in like so, pop that part on to the bottom of that landing gear bit, and there we go. No more falling over. And the last thing we've gotten here is your standard action base adapter, this one right here, for attaching it to an action base. So I will mention I already feel this getting a little bit loose. The glass table never lies when it comes to joints and stuff, so we're gonna move on to articulation and then check if that loosens it up any bit. But anyway, as usual, from the head down, and yeah, I did just pull off the antenna by accident. So up here we've got your standard double jointed giggity goo Gundam neck. There it is, looking all the way up, all the way down, side to side tilt, quite good, and there it is all the way around. Around the backpack, these little bits can swivel in and out ever so slightly. As we saw before, those beam sabers can pop out. Shoulder can move in and out like so. That's as far as it goes. The shoulder armor here is separate to the arm, so there it is all the way up, all the way down. As for the arm, there it is all the way up. We've got that full 360-degree spin. We've got that full rotation up at the upper arm here. There is that full elbow bend, and that is nice. Standard ball joint right here for the wrist. It does feel like there's somewhat of an ab crunch in here, but doesn't seem like we're getting anything out of it, so I guess no. But we do have a nice side-to-side crunch right here. Of course, that can also spin all of the way around because it's just a standard peg in a hole. This skirting armor can flip up like so. Side skirting here is on a ball joint, so you can get pretty much anything you'd want out of that. We do have a somewhat premium butt flap here. These move up together, so yeah, that's a premium butt flap. We have a forward and back rocking mechanism in here that does not affect both legs, so both legs are independent. Pretty awesome. So by rocking that hip to the front, there's the full kick up. Very nice. By rocking it back, there is the full kick out to the back, and again, very nice. Next up, let's try out the splits. Can we get the full splits out of it? Whoa. So it seems I got this leg up a little further than this one, but it seems like you can pretty much get it down quite low. We have full rotation at the upper leg here, but I will mention this is quite a loose joint, falls off easily, and I really wish at this point that Bandai would steal Flame Toys' idea, or whoever came up with it, of putting a little bit of a lip around the edge of the end of this, so when it pushes on through the polycap, it eventually pops out the other end and holds it permanently in place, instead of screwing off all the time. Same goes for the waist on this, pops out quite often. Anyway, next up then is that bend at the knee. That again is quite good. And the ankle is also on a pretty nice system. There's the rocking forward and back. We then have a side to side pivot there, which is quite good, but we don't have much in the lines of any kind of rotation. Actually, I can't get any out of it whatsoever. Also, the fact that there's no toe bend up or down means that that is a bit of a bummer. So for a fairly basic kit, the articulation on this is quite nice, and so far it isn't really loosening up so much, so I don't know how it will last over time. I don't like the Reborn 100 polycaps. They just don't seem to hold up so well, but all in all, at the current moment, it's impressive enough. So that right there is it for the review, and all I can say is, if I've made the gun easy the silver tier of Reborn 100, which I did, this right here has to be gold tier. But hold on, don't get too excited. That is gold tier of Reborn 100, which doesn't really say a whole lot. Yes, it is a very nice kit. It's absolutely and utterly beautiful. It's big, it's awesome, and as far as Reborn 100s go, if they were all like this, I would love the line. This was the third ever Reborn-100 after the Nightingale and after the Gundam Mark III. I did build the Gundam Mark III, I really like that kit just like I really like this kit right here. And if the line stayed like that, it would be a decent line, but it didn't. At the same time, I haven't seen the Zaku 2 Kai yet, so I am excited about that guy. All in all, at the end of the day, this does exactly what Reborn-100 was meant to do. It looks like a master grade when it's on your shelf. It fits right in, and it fits in perfectly. It looks absolutely spectacular. The minute you get your hands on it, you'll know it's not a master grade, but it is quite awesome in its simplicity. The accessories are cool too. It is a little bit reliant on stickers, but again, that's par for the course for Reborn-100, and all in all, I really do like this. And if you have your eye on it, I recommend going for it. Once again, if you do want one of your own, there's a link down there in the description. You can get yours at HobbyLink Japan. Thank you so much for watching. I will mention that right now over on the channel membership and Patreon Discord, there is a competition going to win some premium Bandai Gunpla. The competition will end Monday the 30th. It's a pose-off contest, so if you're good at posing Gunpla, you want to get in there and win that P Bandai, while also supporting the channel. Also, I do have a giveaway going with Gemma at the moment, pitting Transformers against Gundam, so if you want to win the absolutely awesome real grade new Gundam, then I'll also throw the link to that video down in the description if you want to check that out. But anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more Gunpla reviews, and I'll see you next time. Once again, all my unending thanks to each and every one of you guys who watch my videos, as well as all of you who support the channel through the channel memberships and on Patreon, including Tyler Sanders, Bullwig, Vex, Forged Horizons, Kaiser721, NQG420, and Craig Jerry.